In Lakesh in Veritas. Welcome to the Sundome. We'll be talking about the upcoming classes here at Of the Sun. We have introductory classes. We have an introductory class on calibration, which I will be teaching coming up in the month of February. And we also have an introductory class on spiritual protection coming up, I think also in the month of February. And we would like to share with you a little bit about it and open the floor for any questions or discussion about the topics. With the calibration class, in this time of great uncertainty, in this time of deconstruction of the empire that we live in, it is very important that we can find the answers to which way should we go, what should we eat, who should we listen to, who's telling the truth, who's not telling the truth. Is that my boyfriend or my boy foe? Is that my girlfriend or my girl foe? Yes, we need to know, what is what. So this class in calibration is a method where you don't need anything outside of you in respect of the technology of creation that has been given to us, the bodies we live in. We interact with them in such a way that we learn to understand that our bodies know more than we think they do. They know what's going on at the mailbox, and they know what's going on with the person sitting next to you. And you can check that out by learning in this class. You can find out a variety of different things that are going on around you, anything that your body is capable of telling you, and your body will not lie to you, as the bodies have been established in truth, and we live in the container that has been established in truth, although we are not always in the truth. So we're bypassing the psychic power, we're bypassing the clairvoyance, we're bypassing all of these other things that the world has made so famous, and we're going to talk to our technology. And in talking to our technology, we can get simple yes and no answers for everything. We don't need kinesiology. We don't need a pendulum. We don't need an intermediary between us. We don't need to pray for 3 hours. We don't have to meditate. We can just ask our bodies once you learn this method. So this is what we'll be teaching in the calibration class. We do a calibration introductory 1 and a level 2. And these classes, when you leave the class, you have the basic components through practice to make you efficient at finding out the things you most need to know. And so I'll open the floor if there's any questions about the calibration class. Yes?
What are some of the details on how long is the class, when is the class, how often is the class, how much does it cost?
The class is one of 3 classes, 1 hour each with questions afterwards for approximately 20 minutes. Each class is $100. However, if you sign up for all 3 classes, we will offer a discount of $50 if you sign up for all 3, or you can pay one at a time. The classes begin the second Tuesday of the month, and they run for the full month of February, and they always run that way. Anything else? Yes.
One of the things that you mentioned is that many of us here and then are listening on the camera have been working with our clair senses, whether it's clairaudience or sentience or whatever that may be. What's the difference in working with those tools versus working with the body?
And these tools are wonderful gifts from creation that we all have, and some have developed more than others, but they are influenced by our desires. Like, I really want him to call me, so I'm going to ask my psychic self, will he call me? Yes, he's going to call me. Is he going to call me today? Yeah, well, he didn't make it today. Is he going to call me tomorrow? Maybe he'll call me on Wednesday. So we are influenced by our emotions and our desires. When we speak to the body, we can ask the body, will you tell me the truth? The body is capable of it, And if the body answers yes, then you will get the truth. You're only asking in this introductory class, you're not asking for a reading, you're asking for a yes or no. You know, like, should I get in that car? Don't get in that car. You know, should I go to that place? It's midnight. Should I go to Walmart? You know.
So without going too far into it, can you give a little bit of a preview or a hint of how does a person get themselves to be sure or clear enough that they are not influencing their answers? Like, what is the process to getting to that point where you're not just lying to yourself because that's the answers you want to get?
Yeah.
Well, and again, I'm guessing it's a part of the class, but give me a little taste of how we get.
Well, it's going to seem counterintuitive, but there must be some respect for the body. So, have you ever looked in the mirror and thought, what is wrong with my ears? You know, why is there one lower than the other? You know, have you ever looked at yourself and think, I'm really having a bad hair day to day. I'm going to have to put on a hat. Would you do that to an animal that came into the room? Would you say, what's wrong with your tail? Why are you wagging like that? How come one ear stands up and the other one lays down? So these small things that we do, we feel so comfortable with criticizing ourselves. We feel so comfortable with being so unhappy and unpleasant with ourselves about ourselves. That has to stop. This idea of having reverence for the divinity that you are is the prerequisite. You begin to love the gift you've been given. We are extraordinary, cosmic, intergalactic technology. We just didn't get the book. We didn't get the instructions, but we are, and so we have to get to the point where our body knows you love it, and it's willing to serve you outside of the regular limitation of the third dimensional human. And if you get to that point, then you can trust it and it can trust you. You're not going to be, how come I got that toenail fungus? You know, you're going to know that your body can help you figure out how to heal yourself from it.
So I have another question, but to that quickly, what you're speaking about, last Sunday, went somewhere and I ordered something that I've been eating my whole life. I ordered veggie samosas, but it was from a place I never have eaten from before, and I was eating it and something didn't feel right, and I asked the Indian guy, I said, is there nuts in this? Because I'm allergic to nuts. I said, is there nuts in this? Because something don't feel right to me. Like, something's a little off. He's like, no, this veggie samosas, you know, like I was tripping. So I was like, all right, maybe I am tripping. So then he walks away, and I start eating, like, the other half of it. And I'm like, nah, this ain't right. So I left. It was 3 came in order. So I left the other 2 like that and just pushed it away from me. And I wasn't feeling great. But I wasn't feeling, like, terrible. I just wasn't feeling right. So he came back. He said, you was right. He said, the chef, we make our own samosas here. He was like, the chef rubs peanuts around the dough before they fry or whatever, or when they come out the fryer, or something like that. He was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that, or whatever like that. And I was so grateful for my body. I was like, man, I knew it. And I was like, thank you. Like, I felt so good that immediately 2 bites in, my body was telling me this is not in alignment with you. I wasn't sad that I wasn't feeling good. I was happy that I wasn't feeling good.
Absolutely.
Because it helped me know where I stand and what was going on. So that's what
I love this story because I live in that space where I'm so grateful. I am like, thank you, body. Thank you for letting me know. Don't open that door. Don't answer that phone. Don't talk to this person. I might not find out now, but I'm going to find out later. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That level of gratitude catapults you into a space where you can touch divinity. Yes.
Yeah, I have a similar story like that with my daughter when she was younger. She did not want peanuts. She was a picky eater and everything. so I had this sitter who was from Ghana, and she made a peanut stew. And I didn't listen to my daughter. I'm thinking she's just picky and all that. She touched the stew on her lips swelled. I mean, so she even, and I was like, oh, okay, stop, And then I ended up getting her tested, and this is before my knowing, my understanding of energetics. But her body told her, so when she did that, I'm like, you know what, you tell me anything you don't want, that's okay.
So this is something, I've heard other stories like this. This is something the field around the body knows when you're trying to poison it. But we have collapsed our ability to recognize the field. The field knows that you shouldn't talk to that person, that it's not going to end well. The field knows that, that food is not going to work for you, but we override it. I hear people all the time saying, I'm going to eat a certain way, but they didn't check with their body. Not everything is for everybody. But the idea that you all have had these experiences is a testimony to the method, this introductory, simple method, that in the years that come, you will be very happy that you don't need anything with you, and you can know which way to go, which way not to go, who to open the door for, who not to, who to pay and who not to pay. This is a very important time. That is the only reason I'm teaching this at this time, is that people are confused. They do not know how to move forward in a way that keeps them safe from darkness. The body, your body, knows and will protect you, because your body knows the first law of creation is self-preservation. So by protecting you, it protects itself. Although it is obedient to you. So you want to eat that samosa? It's like, okay, eat it. It's not going to go well. You're not going to be happy. But the body knew when it looked at the menu. You were on this is what I always order. And so you overrode whatever information, the first thought that comes in is usually from the body. But once you become aware through this 3-hour class, then you're like, let me just listen. The thing is that sometimes, because of the way we have been cultivated, we are in accord without asking. We're just already it's like, I'm already ready to kneel at the altar. And we should be like, should I stand up? Maybe I should stay on my feet so I can run, so I can get out of here. So we're all ready to be compliant, and asking the question in the car, asking the question before you go somewhere. The body is amazing. I can ask questions about somebody's body in Africa if I have the name. I can ask a question about a name I see on a piece of paper and get accurate information. I have asked if something was going to be in my mailbox and when I should walk down to the mailbox. And I'll be like, should I go down there now? And I'm like, no, not yet. And an hour later, I'm like, yeah, go on, down there now. And I go to the mailbox, and the truck is moving around the corner, just about to come up. And what I was waiting for was there. You can use it this way. It's really based on your ability to press your own limitation. Time and space is not what you think it is. So we hope that many of you will be interested in this class and join us. Also, the protection class that Tarvars is doing is very necessary at this time as well, because during the time where things separate and go in 2 different directions, there are those who are more aggressive than usual in families, in business, in your company, in your work, where you may feel a little bit more aggression coming than the usual levels of aggression which you've gotten used to. And so being able to move that back from you, if you got some Kung Fu. So Tarvars is teaching Kung Fu. So we encourage you to take the class on protection as well. Any further questions? Yes.
One last one. So if I'm going to start from scratch as a student of the sun, what's the ideal path for me to take? Do I start with the practical, not the practical, the calculating class, calibration class, or should I start with the energy protection class, or should I just do both each, because they're different days? And then what's your ideal new student situation? Like, how would you recommend me go?
These are introductory classes. This will bring you in. It brings you into the luminous feel of how aware in the cosmic energy we work. So we're working outside of the third dimension. This brings you in and gets you acclimated. You read the website, do the practices, you become more integrated in it. However, which one you choose first has to do with what's going on in your life. Are you feeling a little pressed by people? People calling you up and dumping things in your ear? And you'd be like, you might need that protection class. If you're finding that you're eating wrong, your health is not good, these are things that you can materially affect by choices. And you can enlist your body as your ally to do so. And so this will help you. So both are introductory classes, both are essential. You've got to know how to back things up off of you. And you need to know at least yes and no, at the very least. When we teach property clearing, you will learn how to calibrate and be able to get detailed information. But this is an introduction. 3 hours in, you'll be able to figure out whether you should stay in the car or get out, and what to do with the person who's trying to open the car door. That's right. So thank you so much. We really welcome all of you to join us and look forward to you coming into our classes and of the sun. We give you thanks with honor, respect, gratitude, integrity, discipline, and action. In Lakesh and Veritas.